2020.
Yes, Mr. Connor. I mean, we recognize the devastating impact of COVID, and even as we recognize the frowns that COVID may have caused, we still recognize that there were opportunities, or have been opportunities, emerging from this pandemic. When we look at the empathy that COVID allows us to demonstrate to our clients and our stakeholders, we see that this is an opportunity indeed, because as salespersons and individuals in the financial market, we always want to ensure that although our role is to provide the service of giving information, we can still be human beings and recognize that persons out there are struggling, and it gives us a chance to strengthen our relationships with our clients and stakeholders and show them that we are in this together. We are feeling some of the same struggles that they are feeling, and we are willing to lend a helping hand, not only as individuals, but also as financial companies.
Yes, so it was the Nobel Prize winning economist Paul Romer who observed that a crisis is a terrible thing to waste. And what I think he was saying there is that in times of crisis, such as COVID-19, we should not waste an opportunity to turn the negative impacts into positive things that we ourselves can benefit from locally, regionally, and internationally. And of course, we are fully aware of many things that has been happening that we can consider as avenues of upliftment, avenues where persons would have turned the frown upside down and entered into very many different avenues of improving their lives during this COVID-19 era.
Yes, I certainly agree and recognize that, Mr. Connor. Even the way that businesses are conducting their operations now, it has totally changed. Quite recently, companies were still doing things in the traditional way on paper, but we see that business operations have moved more now to digital method. We have companies now issuing receipts online. We have companies now making payments available online. And all of these things from a financial standpoint not only serves to ease the burden on the company, but also in these trying times makes things a lot easier for clients, giving them accessibility to resources that demonstrates that the company is willing to adjust and make the necessary changes to accommodate its stakeholders.
It's all over the world. We have heard and seen technological advancement brought about by this COVID, whereby, as Quinn indicated, companies and individuals are taking advantage of this new norm, realizing that processes and procedures cannot be done the same way. We have to now re-engineer and rethink the way in which we do business and create different opportunities technologically which will promote social distancing, physical distancing, delivery of services in this COVID-19 era that, of course, would not have happened had it not been for COVID-19. We have to be so innovative that the things we do today must support our activities and initiatives during this COVID-19 era. And I'm certain that many of the things we did prior to COVID-19, many companies, many individuals will not be returning to that way of doing things. It has become a new norm. And therefore, we must move forward with this new normal in creating smiles out of the adversities of COVID-19.
Yes, to that point, Mr. Connor, we even see persons creating face masks. We have persons who are making hand sanitizers. We have persons who are essentially taking this terrible situation that COVID-19 created and finding some way of turning it into an opportunity that we can equate to a smile, not only for the entrepreneur creating that product, but also for the recipients of these products. And oftentimes, as we have seen, these are proving to be almost life-saving initiatives in the form of face masks and hand sanitizers and other things, PPE materials that are needed to safeguard individuals, frontline workers, and essentially the population at large.
Yeah, you use the word entrepreneurial, and locally it is evident that there has been economic advancement through entrepreneurship here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Matter of fact, some time ago I understand that over 50 new small business licenses were issued just during the time between when COVID came on the scene down until now. Wow. What does that say? That many persons have realized that there's opportunity for them to move into to open their own new businesses. And so we have had sprung up over the past couple of weeks businesses like car rentals. Person has gone into farming. You know that one of the major initiatives right now is food security, ensuring that we can grow enough food to serve the nation's population, because no one knows what will happen in the future. So we have had quite a number of persons going into their own small business as farmers, heavy equipment operators. Persons have also moved into that area, becoming independent, turning the stress and strain of COVID into smiles, whereby they can be engaged in economic activity and make it into a win-win situation to ensure that going forward, COVID will not win, but entrepreneurship and economic activity springing out of COVID will definitely be center stage here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Absolutely. And one of the things I also recognize that has come out of COVID is the importance of protecting one's family and protecting oneself. We work in the insurance industry, and we see persons now recognizing the importance of having life and medical insurance in place to protect their loved ones. So sometimes it takes some type of adversity to come about for persons to see, or to seize rather, the opportunity of having these types of resources in place to protect themselves and their loved ones. And that is another opportunity that has come out of COVID that persons continue to take advantage of. And we even see the emergence of things like the SUSU plans.
Yes.
Another means of persons attempting to earn some money during this COVID pandemic. So one might look at that as something that could put a smile on their face, knowing that an investment in that nature, if that individual chose to, could put some extra funds in their pockets, as well as other traditional investments that exist that perhaps persons weren't keen on taking advantage of before COVID. Now they see the importance of investing to secure themselves financially and health-wise.
Yes, and I'm certain I've heard that this Susu flower activity has put a smile on many persons' faces. But I'm also hearing that it is otherwise for others.
Yes.
All right? But at least, if it were not for COVID, all of these different plans, Susu, flower, and whatever they call them, would not have emerged. And so persons realizing that it is important to financially endow themselves seeking to get into these income opportunities. And as I indicated, for sure it has been working out for some people, maybe not for others. We are not promoting it, but it is a reality that if it were not for COVID, you wouldn't have seen this upsurgence in this kind of economic or financial activity.
Yes, correct. So we see, as the saying goes, a bad wind never blows. And although, again, we cannot discount or discredit the tragic effects of COVID, we also recognize that it has made persons more innovative, more proactive, and it has given companies and individuals a new approach to conducting business and to servicing clients worldwide. So on the financial front, we certainly encourage individuals out there to seek opportunities that may have arisen from this pandemic. Be creative in your approach. Tap into some of your skills that you perhaps never thought that you could have earned significantly from. Those things might be what you need now to get your daily activities or your daily needs satisfied.
Yes, Quinn. And in addition to the financial benefits, the financial smiles that have been brought about by COVID-19, we can also identify smiles as a result of politically and social interventions. Now, one of the things that I think we can really smile about is the way in which government and the NEOC would have managed the COVID situation here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Many of us were really frightened when COVID-19 rose its ugly head on the Federation and across the Caribbean and the world. But the pivotal role played by our government and the NEOC and all of the other parties involved. So we can see that politically there has been smiles. Even the government stimulus package. Many persons were wondering, where am I going to get my next meal? Persons would have lost their jobs, reduced income, and so forth. And definitely the government would have put smiles on many of our citizens' faces by putting in place this wonderful stimulus package, which enabled persons to smile again.
Yes, indeed. We understand, Mr. Bacchus. We have Ms. Wayland on the line, correct? Okay. So, yes, as Mr. Connor would have said, and as I touched on earlier, there was a lot that came out of COVID, and we continue to move forward and make the appropriate adjustments as a result of the pandemic. We, as financial individuals working in careers in this industry, continue to find ways to best service our clients. Specifically on the insurance end, there are plans that are being designed that cater to persons specifically affected by the COVID virus. And as we continue to progress and hopefully continue to, what's the saying, move beyond the curve, then we hope that our initiatives in this light will inevitably serve the general public much better as a result of COVID.
Yes, definitely, Quinn. And so we are aware that it's a new normal. It's not going to be business as usual. And so our citizens must take advantage of what COVID would have posed. It's not all doom and gloom. It's an opportunity, a great opportunity for us to look ahead and determine what smiles can we bring about? What new initiatives can we engage? What new forms of business can we engage in to ensure that whether or not we would have lost our jobs, hey, we can continue to create income for ourselves and our families. We can't afford to allow the COVID-19 situation to put a damper on our lives. It might knock us down, but it's for us to get up again and prove to ourselves that we can survive in this COVID-19 era. And we can put in place new opportunities, new ways of doing things to ensure that as time goes on, we can continue to survive. We don't have a clue as to how long this COVID-19 will last with us. Of course, we hope it will go away and go away very soon. But that, from all appearances, will not be the case. And so this should give us the impetus to know that we have to create for ourselves new ways in doing business, new ways in supporting ourselves, so that our frowns that would have been created can be turned upside down into smiles, and that we can be seen as heroes, all heroes, in this fight against the COVID pandemic.
Well, yes, as we await Ms. Wayland to join the discussion, I just want to touch on a very important aspect of adjustments that have had to be made. Adjustments that had to be made as a result of COVID. And I'll be very brief on this. Budgeting. You know, there are so many persons out there who were perhaps accustomed to spending in a certain way. And when COVID came about, when hours got cut, persons all of a sudden recognized that they didn't have to spend as much as they used to. They could get by with much less. So that to me has been an opportunity, something that has shown persons how they could make adjustments to have more money in their pockets, to survive on less, and to ultimately save more for a rainy day. Mrs. Elizabeth, Wayland.
Hello, good afternoon all.
Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. Good afternoon all, and thank you for having me on this afternoon to talk about the remaining items that we have going on this week for FIM, the big one being our online business symposium. And as I was listening to our other guest partner this afternoon, I thought that it was a really good segue into the introduction of the symposium, which will be taking place on Thursday at 4:30. It will be for 2 hours, from 4:30 to 6:30. And it will be one of the flagship events for the Financial Information Month here in St. Kitts and Nevis. The overall theme for the symposium is building financial resilience in a COVID-19 environment. And I heard a lot about that this afternoon listening to the radio program, talking about turning the Frown upside down with different opportunities. And I think that's an excellent topic as we go through this, what we're hearing all the time, the new normal. For the symposium, we will have 3 presenters. Our first presenter will be addressing living through rainy days, how to manage your money in challenging times. And that will be Mr. Trevor Blake, the Managing Director of the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange. So he will be sharing our insight and experience with us on that topic. The second area of focus will be embracing the internet as a tool for everyday living. And we know right now we do not have a choice in this new normal, but to jump online, to do a lot of our transaction, whether it's business, whether it's personal, even school, telecommuting for work, the internet has become a very, very depended upon tool throughout this pandemic. and it's getting even more and more. We have to rely on it even more and more every day. So Rodney Brown of eCaribbean will be talking on that topic on Thursday. And our final topic and our final presenter will be Mr. Chad Allen, the country manager of Royal Bank of Canada, St. Kitts and Nevis. And he will also be talking about what's going on online in terms of internet use during the pandemic. So his topic will be, it's happening online, save time, save money, and stay safe. Our moderator will be Ms. Zanella Claxton, the Principal Education Officer of the Department of Education in Nevis. And for those of us who listen to the radio a lot, especially phone radio, we know that Ms. Claxton will ably moderate the session. And she is looking forward to that, very excited about that. So we're all very excited about what's going to be taking place at the symposium on Thursday afternoon. We invite everyone to register. You could register via the Financial Information Month Facebook page, and that is www.facebook.com/Financial Information Month ECCU. Financial Information Month ECCU. And the registration information is on there. All you have to do is click and register for the symposium. We're looking forward to many registrants, with many participants. You could send in your questions if you're joining us via the Facebook page. If you're registered to be one of the persons who will be in the virtual room, you will also be able to share your comments. You will be able to share your questions, and those questions will be directed to the panelists, the three presenters, who will be giving you insight and information or whatever it is you need to know on those topics. So once again, ask everybody to register, get on board, join the conversation. Let's hear your experience as well, what you have to share with others. And also let's hear what our presenters will be sharing with us as well.
Excellent. Well, yes, thank you for that insight, Ms. Wayland. Certainly, we encourage persons to visit the website, Facebook page, and sign up for the symposium, and also to be there in person to gain from the insights and the experience of the speakers at this year's symposium.
Also, just to add that besides the symposium, this week on the 30th, we'll have a virtual treasure hunt. That's when the secondary schools will be part of that activity. And while we used to have it in person before during the financial fair, of course, due to COVID and all the different protocols, we have it online, and schools are already registering and ready to go. The ones who won in the past, they want to maintain their titles, so they're looking forward to it. So the secondary schools in both St. Kitts and Nevis will be participating in the virtual treasure hunt, and that is being done through the Smart Finance app. So if you have not downloaded the Smart Finance app as yet, you could do so in the app stores. And when you are searching, the Smart, the S in Smart is spelled with the $. So the Smart Finance app, you could look for it, check it out, download it, and check out what's going on with FIM, and also the daily quiz to win prizes from our partners. In addition to that, we also have a video competition for the primary school students. So right now we are accepting the videos from the primary schools, and those will be judged, and the winners, of course, will emanate from that. So sometimes on or after the 31st of October, at the end of Financial Information Month, the winners for the video competition will be announced.
Wonderful. So again, all of those activities are certainly things for the general public to support. Financial Information Month is all about giving the general public the information that they need to be sensitized to the different investments and the different money management tools that you can utilize to be the best that you can be in regards to finance. Certainly, as Financial Information Month partners, we are pleased to have been here to share this information with you this afternoon, me as well as my manager, Mr. Derrick Connor.
Yes, of course.
And certainly we hope that it highlighted some of the opportunities that persons have already capitalized upon and some opportunities that others can capitalize upon to turn what have been many frowns at this particular point in time into many smiles. It's all about being innovative. It's all about being proactive, looking to the future, looking at what's taking place, and finding ways that you can exploit whatever opportunities come your way, ultimately to the benefit of our citizens and residents, as well as for yourself and for your family. So I am personally pleased that I was here to share in this discussion, and I look forward to many more discussions on good financial activities in the future. And thank you to the FIM partners for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you as well.
And thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about the different activities we have coming up this week. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you